Welcome to the Miracles Happen Fertility Podcast, where it's all about using the power of your mind to create hope, health, and miracles on your fertility journey. And now your host, a dash of science and a heap of spirit, Dr. Maria Rothenberger.
Hey, welcome to episode 129 of the Miracles Happen Fertility Podcast. This is Dr. Maria Rothenberger, your host for the podcast. And just like I do every now and again, once in a quarter or something, I like to reintroduce myself. I'm a fertility coach and a therapist, and I specialize in fertility or family building issues. And only about a year or so ago, I, quote, came out as a spirit baby communicator, meaning I'm also a medium. I'm able to connect to the other side. So when I talk about mind, body, soul, fertility, that is absolutely true. In fact, it really is true that I'm heavy on the spirit side. But I do have a very grounded, left brain, logical, evidence-based part of me too. I like to pull in from both, and I think that that's important for everyone. We can't rely on just left brain analytical thinking all the time because our intuition is full of information that is so helpful for our fertility journeys. And I wrote all about my own personal experience in Transcending Infertility, my book that went to #1 Amazon bestseller. And you can go find that now. Again, Transcending Infertility, 9 keys for improving fertility, creating miracles, and being a better human. Sometimes I break out in song randomly. There's also, actionable steps for you to do in that book. So it's not just my story. It's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do starting right now. So that's one thing I wanted to cover. But the other thing before we get into today's topic, which is about spirit babies and dreams, I just wanted to touch base on Spirit Baby Foundations training. Dream work is actually a big part of the training. And pardon me, I mentioned it in a recent email. If you're on my email list, then you may have seen the video that I recorded around getting in touch with your dreams to help communicate with Spirit Baby. And this is one of the things that, people think that connecting to Spirit Baby realm is this, that most people call it a gift, right? But I am of the notion that everybody has this ability. Everybody has intuition. Everybody has the ability to connect on some level to other realms. And I think that it's a skill. I really personally believe that it's a skill. I was not someone who grew up, thinking that or seeing people from the other side, ghosts, anything like that. I never had experiences like that, angels, nothing like that. And it came to me in my 30s when I was working with someone in the therapy realm who had lost her twins, and it was just completely spontaneous. I had been meditating for a long time, and I thought that had something to do with it, which was confirmed by an actual medium. And I think that is a skill. I just think it's a skill that everybody has. So dreams are one place to start. If you feel like you can't, access your intuition, or you don't believe some of the things that come your way in your waking life, just start with your dreams. It's really helpful. But I wanted to just talk about that within the context of Spirit Baby training, because that is coming up this Saturday. So like 2 days from now. If there are still openings, you can go to my website and see about registering for it. It is drmariarothenberger.com/spiritbabytraining. If there are more spots open, certainly you'll be able to register before the training starts on Saturday. You will be getting all kinds of emails with learning modules, and you will be getting in real life little presents. They're actually tools that we use during the training. So you'll be getting a crystal set. You'll be getting a pendulum. You'll be getting Spirit Baby oracle cards from Kelly Meehan. And that is soulbabycommunication.com. She is my mentor and the person who trained me to do specific work with Spirit Baby stuff. I should note that none of the material that is in Kelly Meehan's mentorship or training is part of my training, because hers is more for people who already know they have mediumship capabilities and things like that. And my training is for absolute foundations. So people who may have felt like they can connect to the other side or wondered about it, or, are curious about it and want to hone these skills. So this is foundation. So very basic information, although it's pretty deep. So I start teaching you how to use actual tools and things to really validate what you're experiencing. All right. So that said, again, registration closes. Oh gosh, the training starts Saturday. So registration closes tomorrow. That is the 24th of September. So registration closes in the evening tomorrow. So head on over to drmariarothenberger.com/spiritbabytraining if you want to see about registering for the 8-week training. Good times. Okay, let's talk about dreams. Now, why do I talk about dreams related to Spirit Baby Realm? Well, you might think one thing, and the reason is actually another. So, first of all, when we are in our waking life, it's so easy, and I still freaking do this, okay? It's so easy to say, was that real? Did that actually happen? Come on, that's just coincidence, right? Like, I think I talked about this recently where a person's spirit baby told me that she was going to be coming through as bunnies. And then there was like this bunny in front of our camper. We needed to take it camping and we needed to hook up, but this bunny was just like sitting there, not moving. Even when I got out and I was going to take a photo of it, it didn't get scared. It just sat there. To me, when animals behave not typical for themselves, I consider that even more evidence. But it's really easy to be like, oh, come on, that's just coincidence, right? It's like, a bunny was just sitting there. Come on, that's just coincidence. Well, after a while, you begin to realize that there are too many coincidences to be coincidence. But the problem is that we still question, especially ourselves. We ask ourselves, are we going crazy? Are we just being silly? Are we just being too woo-woo? I don't think too many people use that phrase anymore, which is good. But in the dream state, we can experience anything. Now, this is similar to when I do hypnosis for folks. We do hypnosis for past life regression or hypnosis for just current life regression, going back to childhood to maybe heal some traumas, those kinds of things. When you are in that brainwave state, it's a theta brainwave state, you are far more receptive to healing and to suggestion and to receiving information, to receiving messages. When you're asleep, it's the same idea. You're in that lower brainwave activity. And so you're able to receive information a little bit better. I'll give you an example here. This was way back in July of 2020 when I quote came out. I offered some complimentary Spirit Baby sessions just as part of my self-study, right? And there was one person that I saw that I had just finished a session and I was going to start up another, but I had to go take a break. I was running to the restroom. Interestingly, Spirit Babies, this is probably my own personal experience, but Spirit Babies come to me a lot when I'm going to the restroom. I don't know what that is about. Like headed to the restroom, maybe not like sitting and doing my business, but headed to the restroom. It's so bizarre. Maybe I'm like on relax mode or something. I don't know. But anyway, this Spirit Baby came to me looking like a little pixie, and she was showing me hopping on bubbles. I'm like, that's interesting. And when I did the session with the person, P.S., oftentimes before you, if you intend to work with somebody to connect with their Spirit Babies, oftentimes Spirit Babies will come like a day in advance. They'll show up kind of knowing that this is going to happen. Anyway, so this was only just before the session. So when I started doing the session and I told her about that, she was like, oh my God, I had a dream that me and my little girl were hopping on rocks at the beach. And that is what it reminded her of. I'm like, that's exactly it. It's this playful hop, hop, hop sensation. It's a feeling. Which brings me to how you work through dreams. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. Hint, it's about feeling, not the actual content. Okay? All right, so dreams are super easy to get in touch with. I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't dream. I never remember my dreams. Well, dream work research says that we dream like 6 times a night. And even if you don't remember them, it doesn't mean you're not dreaming. What you need to do in the beginning, especially if you don't remember your dreams, is to be intentional that you are going to remember your dreams. Keep a notebook on your bedside table. Even if you want to use your phone, that's fine. I don't recommend that because if you wake up in the middle of the night and you get on your phone, it can wake up your brainwave activity. I don't think that's as helpful as just good old-fashioned pen and paper. But of course, you need light anyway to write it down, so does it really matter? I don't know. So whatever works for you, get in the habit of writing down your dreams. Or if you don't remember your dreams, get in the habit of writing, I don't remember my dreams from last night. This is beginning to set an intention that I am on the path to remembering my dreams. Then sometimes in the beginning, it'll just be flashes. It'll just be like, oh, a blip of information came through. Oh, I was in a house. And so you write that down. I remember a dream where I was in a house. I don't remember anything else. Over time, you begin to get more and more and more and more detail as you set this intention for remembering your dreams. Now, if you already remember your dreams, well then, shoot, you're ahead of the game, right? Continue writing down your dreams, okay? Then the next thing you'll do is specifically ask baby for information, for messages, for whatever it is that you need in your dream state. You can ask for a specific song. You can ask for a hug, physical touch. You can ask for anything that you need to know to bring them earthside. You can ask for anything. Anything. You can ask them to bring a relative to you. It is amazing what can happen in the dream state. All you have to do is ask. And let me tell you something. Spirit babies are so willing. You know why? Because it's playful to them. They love it. They get so excited. They're like, ooh, yay, we get to do this. You know, it's so great. So they will do their absolute damnedest to give you what you ask for. All you have to do is ask. So every night before you go to bed, ask Spirit Baby for whatever it is that you need and go to sleep with the intention of writing down your dreams. Okay, here's the thing. I hinted to this before. Oftentimes dreams are not about the actual content. Okay, so if you ask Spirit Baby to come to you and give you a hug, for example, sometimes it'll be like an actual little toddler or a baby giving you a hug, like cuddling with you. Other times, it's about the feeling that you get when you imagine hugging your infant. Okay, what's that feeling? The dream will be about that. The dream will give you that feeling. So pay attention to that. If you don't get an actual, one time I was aware that a client of mine had passed away. Here's an example. This is not Spirit Baby, but this is still other side. I asked him that night. He just popped in my head, and I had an inclination to search him up. It had been years since I'd seen him, and I found his obituary, and I cried, and I was so upset, and asked for him to show up in my dreams that night because I needed to hug him. And he did. That night, I was able to walk right up to him, embrace him tightly, wish him well, and say thank you for showing up. That is literally what happened. But had I had a dream of feeling closure, of feeling like a release, of feeling like I had said goodbye, that would have been to me the same thing. All you need to do in your dream journal or wherever you're keeping record of your dreams is to write down the feelings associated with that dream. Okay? That's really, really important. Okay, on the other hand, there are dreams that are quite literal, like my client who had a dream of her and her baby hopping over rocks at the beach, right? It's quite literal. So you can get all kinds of information from your dreams. And usually it's a very loving energy. Now, what happens if you have nightmares? Lots of people have this question. Usually, nightmares are so much more emotionally charged that we remember them much better than we remember the loving dreams, which is really hard. That said, nightmares still give us information, okay? There's one dream that I have. I wouldn't call it a nightmare, but it's just chock full of negative emotion. It's a recurring dream for me, and I've had it for years during certain periods of my life. One of them, they started back in the day when I was dealing with fertility issues, and it's a dream where I am out on vacation with my family. It's the end of the vacation, and we're packing up to leave. But unfortunately, our shit is everywhere, and I can't even imagine how it's all going to fit in our luggages. So I set about to pack everything up. Meanwhile, everybody's not helping. Like, everybody's gone. Nobody's helping me. And I feel completely overwhelmed. We miss our transportation to the airport. We miss our flight. It's a big ordeal in my dream. Now, over the years, I have found that I, first of all, pack too much into my day and into my goal, my little goal setting adventures in a year. And I don't rely on other people enough to help. I tend to take on things myself. So even though I'm like waking up completely frazzled and anxious, it's a terrible feeling. It almost feels nightmare-esque. I know that it's simply a message. It's just another message. That's how I like to look at emotions in general. If you are fearful, if you are angry, if you are any matter of emotion that comes from fear as opposed to love, it's just another way to guide you. If you are feeling emotions that come from love, it's just another way to guide you. This is the right path. Other things are, maybe we need to change this up. Emotions that come from the fear side. Maybe we need to, redirect here. Or maybe not maybe. So look at your really intense dreams that are quite negative, or ones that you might call nightmares where, my God, I've had nightmares where I'm absolutely being chased. I had one where I was being chased and I finally found solace in my aunt's house, and I hid underneath her dining room table, but I was against a window, and just as I was hiding and crouching underneath the dining room table, I looked to my right outside the window, and there was the man that was chasing me, just sitting there smiling at me like, got you now. Ugh, so creepy. I just imagine it now. By the way, the translation for that dream was, I can run as fast as I can, but the shit's still going to catch up with me, so I better just look at it now. That was absolutely during the peak of our fertility issues when my husband and I were on divorce's door, but I didn't acknowledge it at the time. And it just kept following me. You can't escape me. That's exactly what I needed to look at. So, and then he turned out not to be so scary. But anyway, you want to be able to write down your dreams, write down the feelings about the dreams, or if you are having literal messages, write those things down. Trust that they are communication from your little one, or from the person's little one that you are trying to assist. So then you can go back during your waking life. Let's just say you're attempting to communicate with your own spirit baby. You can go through in your waking life, always, always, always express gratitude. Thank you, baby, for giving me this message. I think I got it. Can you do blah, 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 blah in my dream tonight to solidify that for me? Or can you give me any information on this? Thank you in advance. I so love you. I can't wait until you're here. Always come from a place of gratitude. Now, there's a subtle shift inside that you'll notice. One of the blocks that I find with people who are having such trouble connecting to their spirit baby is that there is this level of desperation that is really, really intense. I have to have it. I have to have it. Why isn't it happening? Why isn't it happening? Well, the problem when you have that energy is that you're telling the universe, I don't have that thing. This is basics of manifesting, right? I can't do it. I want to do it. That implies that I don't have the skills necessary to do this. The shift that will need to happen inside is that it's already on its way. Baby's listening to you. Of course you're going to get your message. And of course you're feeling hopeful. Maybe that can imply it's not, you don't have it yet. But if you can sit with the feeling of your wish already being fulfilled, okay, as Dr. Wayne Dyer would say, just sit with that feeling, oh my God, it's on its way. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited. And thank you, thank you, thank you. It's such a different shift inside that it's much easier to connect from that side. When I talk to spirit babies a lot, when I talk to spirit babies, a lot of the time, they will talk about vibrational energy and when they can come in and when it's harder. It's already really dense on this plane for them to communicate well. But when there is a loving energy, it's much less dense. And so they're able to peek through a little bit better. Now, I should note this. I did work with somebody recently who had a great deal of hard stuff, or trauma, as we might call it. And she had a beautiful shield around her. It protects her spirit. I think that's lovely that she needs to keep it, but baby really had a hard time getting through it. It's like protecting her from everybody, but even baby couldn't get through it. So we had to help her create an intention to open up just a little pinhole so baby could get in a little bit, and only baby. And she was allowed to only invite baby. No one else could get through that. So if you're finding that there are continued blocks, you might consider doing the same thing. Just sitting in meditation, imagining a beautiful white light completely surrounding you like an eggshell, right? Like really impervious to the outside. And then imagine just a little pinhole that baby can fit in, only baby can fit in, and then watch your communication get a little bit easier. But I suspect that if you are in your dream state, that theta brainwave state, left brain, frontal lobe, logical stuff is turned off. You're just open to whatever comes your way. I suspect that you are going to find a lot of communication in your dreams. Okay, so this is a short podcast because I just wanted to give you a little flavor of dream work and spirit baby stuff. And if you want deeper information about this, certainly check out Spirit Baby Training. That website for you one more time is drmariarothenberger.com/spiritbabytraining. I hope to see you there. Be well.